superstars in the world.
Hey, Southern California, it's Lady Gaga.
I see in Lady Gaga a touch of theatrical genius.
Our next guest is a music superstar.
And the Grammy goes to...
And the VMA goes to...
And the Golden Globe goes to... Lady Gaga, American Horror Story Old Town.
Welcome, my friend and a courageous lady yourself. Here is Academy Award nominee.
Please welcome international superstar
Lady Gaga!
Lady Gaga is here.
Well, the accolades get bigger and bigger. Carson Daly live on AMP Radio, 804. Lady Gaga, good morning, sweetheart. How are you?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. You warm up from that polar plunge. I saw you were on Taylor's back as he went into the frigid water, and then I was like, oh, wait, what? Did you submerge yourself too?
Well, I went fully under, and I always ask him to, assist me because your body has a rigid rejection to that water as soon as you touch it.
That's your second year doing that, right?
Oh, yeah, my second year, yeah. So I always tell him, I say, give me a good shove under the water.
I guess it's like when you go skydiving. You have to go tandem the first time for fear that your own body just will not allow you to jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
Your brain goes, why are you doing this?
You're doing it for a great cause. As Angie mentioned, your second year for Special Olympics. What a year it's been for you. I think I saw you over the Today Show a while ago, and it was with our buddy Tony Bennett, but so much has happened. You took on the acting gig. You won the Golden Globe for American Horror Story. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
We saw you at the Super Bowl. We saw you doing Bowie Good at the Grammys. But then, of all the moments that we've gotten to see you, something really special happened at the Academy Awards. Just let's back up and tell me about The Hunting Ground, the documentary, and how it came to you, this project, and how you and Diane Warren penned the song that we all watched and were so moved by till it happens to you.
Well, I got a phone call from Diane Warren about this film and about this project. She really wanted to work with me on it. And Bonnie Greenberg, who was the music supervisor, reached out as well. And, I have to be honest, at first I was really unsure if I, even wanted to do it, just because of course I wanted to do it. I want to be a part always of helping raise awareness for, things that are important, but it was something that was just so close to my life that it feels like you're really exposing yourself to people. And, thank you so much for, being so supportive and all the nice things you said. Cause, even since the Oscars on Sunday, I can't tell you how exposed I feel. I just feel like I've revealed so much to people, but I'm happy that I got to, be there for women and men that, feel alone everywhere.
You were on stage along with 50 other sexual assault survivors, very powerful. Gaga, a lot of your fans and friends who, over the years have watched you, you've seemed like a beacon of bravery by many of the things that you've done on red carpets, the outfits. You've been very outspoken musically, lyrically. There's such a vulnerability and such a personal change that seemed to have happened to you that night. What can you tell me more about just that performance and why, even just what you said a second ago about how vulnerable you've been just since the Oscars?
Well, because the thing is when I think anytime anyone's been through something that's hard for them, it's if you don't tell somebody or share your story with other people, there's almost like there's a bit of you that you're hiding. And I think that I never really realized what a big part of me this was until I had to, face it on a world stage like that. And then once you face it, you go, wow, that was and is still a really big part of my life. And that's a really big part of the lives of all the people that were on stage with me, as well as many people all over the world. And, it really brings context to, what my mission is as an artist, is to, bring people together through music. And that, I was just really happy that happened. But yeah, it's definitely been, it's a very strange thing growing up in front of the world, and I know I wasn't, younger than 21, when people started to know me from my music, but I still feel like I've, grown up with a lot of the world watching, and this was just another kind of, I guess, moment I was growing up.
Will you continue to either publicly or privately tell your personal sexual assault story?
You know, I think I will. I mean, I have told this story before, and, you know, I hate to say it, but it's just that people don't always listen or care, and that's often why a lot of women and men don't come forward, because it's this really awkward conversation that nobody really quite knows how to deal with. So I think, you know, I will tell my story. I just want to tell it when, you know, I can use it to further some more change in the world, and when it will be effective, if that makes sense.
Of course it does. Of course. And whenever you're ready to do that, obviously on your own time.
You have to choose to say things when people are willing to focus on them. You know, it's, you know, there's a lot of times things on the news and in the papers that I think we all think are not really important, that maybe are shallow or gossipy, and, you know, this is not one of those things. So I just try to protect myself to make sure that I'm always telling the right people and on the right platform, so that I can,
excellent,
you know, have a positive outcome for my fans.
Along those lines, and speaking of fans, you have been very vocal about the Free Kesha movement. Without diving into that, for so many music fans and fans of yours and fans of Kesha and fans of Adele, who obviously, speaking about a large platform, who gave her a shout out at the Brit Awards. Yeah. For people who just look at that case and look at it as a very convoluted lawsuit between Sony and people and an artist, but there's a sexual assault message in there as well. What should music fans know about this Free Kesha case in general?
Well, I think that people should just know that there's so much more that, you know, than what meets the eye in a case like that. And it's so kind of deceiving when you read about contracts and you read about, you know, what people owe each other in terms of power and records. And the truth is, I feel like she's being very publicly shamed for something that happens in the music industry all the time to women and men. And I just want to stand by her side, because I can't watch another woman that went through what I've been through suffer, you know, and have everyone have a go at her as if, you know, she's lying. I mean, this is just, it's just one of, I mean, I have to say, I talk to her every day. I'm friends with her personally, and what I'm watching her go through is not only something I've been through, but something that's really devastating to witness. Somebody that has such a beautiful light within them, so much talent to give, just to see that light burn out because they feel that no one's listening to them. I feel that it's, you know, my responsibility to stand up for her when, you know, there's a lot of people that are not listening to her plea for love, for people to have compassion and empathy. And I mean, I think we all know that people in power sometimes can use their power for bad things. And that's just reality. That's just the way that the world works. And it's just not fair to women or men when those powers are used against them and we're told to just shut up and go back to work.
Right.
I mean,
that's what it sounds like. I don't think any of us knew details, but it was kind of like, oh, what's Kesha saying? And who's Dr. Luke? And this guy, you know, produces a lot of hit songs. And we know his name. And there's Kesha. And then all of a sudden, oh, wow, here's, you know, Taylor Swift, you know, kind of quietly giving money. Oh, wow, here's Adele saying, here's Lady Gaga.
Nobody wants to say anything, you know, implicitly against anyone. Number one, trying to protect, you know, myself and my family. And it's a very complicated thing. But I will say the reason I'm standing by her is because I want to help make it easier for young artists in this industry for their music to get heard. I mean, I can't tell you, I've told you before, Carson, what it was like coming up for me in this business. It was so hard. I mean, and it's supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy, but the things that you have to deal with on a moral and an ethical level with people related to money and sex and the contracts, you know, it's really scary for a young person. And I just think that people should be educated about that while, you know, the country's deciding, you know, where justice should be served. But
right.
It sounds like that's actually the norm, which it shouldn't be, obviously, but you're making it sound like that's just the norm for a young woman or man coming up in the business.
100% this is the rule and not the exception. And I hate to say that, and I really hate to be, you know, a damper on everybody's morning listen to the radio, but that's just the reality of the music industry, which is why it's so scary for, you know, I think a lot of these female artists like, you know, Adele and Taylor and whoever else is speaking out. I won't put words in their mouths, but I think it is probably scary for them as it is for me to see, you know, so much kind of shaming happen to females in the business that are so talented, because they're just not in, as much of a position of power as the people that are speaking out against them.
But even by a greed standpoint, I mean, after Kelly Clarkson's comments today, she came right out and said she was blackmailed, and was kind of forced into working with Dr. Luke and thanks. But I just don't understand why. What a PR nightmare to have all of you. You've named 5 of the biggest 5 of the biggest just artists in music in general. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't Sony just let her out of her deal altogether? And it seems like there would be a way to settle this because they're certainly losing in the court of public opinion.
I think that, truthfully, they probably didn't think that this story was going to blow up the way that it has. I think that it got swept under the rug, and at some point, we're going to shake the tree until that leaf that has Kesha on it falls right off.
Yeah, well, you're doing a good job. Yes. It's definitely raising a lot of questions.
I care about her, and, I care about all, and we're not saying here that everybody has to, act like they're the worst person that's ever existed or worse. And we're not asking the company to, admit something. We're just asking them to do the right thing by a young woman who's a professional, Carson. This is a almost 30-year-old woman who's a musician and an incredible talent. In any other business, if you were to report that anything happened to you, to the human resources department, it would be dealt with. But we don't have a human resources department. We don't have a union as artists. We're just fighting for ourselves. And we have these, huge obstacles against us. And if we don't stick together, our voices just won't be heard.
Well, you're doing a great job of sticking together, that's for sure. Kesha's lucky to have a lot of great friends in powerful position in music. Let me just slide over.
There's a lot of great women in music, a lot of great women, and all these women deserve to be, I think, upheld for how strong they are.
Absolutely. We're talking to Lady Gaga live on Amp Radio. It's 8:15. I got to cover a couple of quick things, and I'll let you go because I know we've got some other calls to make. The Golden Globe was amazing. You won American Horror Story. You're going to do another season, and you tell me yes or no on that. And then just get right to your new music, because the Little Monsters, on Twitter, they have pitchforks in front of my house. Like, I need you to give me something. I know you've been cryptic with your tick-tick-tock stuff, but you got to give me something solid and concrete.
They think everything is cryptic. My fans, they're always like, it means something. I'm actually working every day on my record, and I will be done with it at some point. And when
come on.
And when it's done, I just feel like, it's just, this is my time for me to spend with my music, and I have for years had to do so many other things and keep up with so much to please people around me, and this is the first time I really get to spend with my work, so I promise you that it will be worth.
Are you writing? Have you written anything? Are there constructed songs? Are you in the studio? Are you laying things down? I'm going to get something out of you.
I've been writing since the day the art rave ended a few years ago.
Okay.
So, I write every single day music, but I write my own music. So, I don't wake up and someone sends me a list of the songs I'm going to go into the studio and record. I have to make it. So you got to give me some time.
Is the American Horror Story influencing your music?
I'm sorry?
Is the American Horror Story experience influencing your music?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, being with Ryan and the cast has really helped me to feel more connected. Just in everything, because you're working every day on a set with people, and you're exchanging these circumstances and looking into each other's eyes, and it forces you to really be in the moment. And they're just wonderful actors who have given me so much, and the crew and all the directors. Just when you're around good people, they inspire you. So of course that has and will continue to inspire my work.
Will a new record come out in 2016, or are we talking 2017?
No, it's not. This is very crafty, very cryptic question.
Are you hearing anything currently on the radio that's influencing you, or like there's so much, production out there? Have you heard something that lit a fire and is like, oh yeah, I got to get back on that train, like that, this thing's moving?
I've always wanted to be on the train. I always liked making music. I guess I just have been taking time to, think about what it is that I want to say next. And that, it's not just always about being out there and being on the radio or being on the charts. It's about growing and evolving as an artist. So,
right.
I view my output over the past few months as, part of, my output into the world, even though it's not part of an album cycle.
Okay.
But
you're not going to get an answer, Carson.
You're not getting anywhere.
I have your cell phone. I'm going to call you when we get off the air, and
I'm so happy. I'm so
good.
happy.
You sound amazing.
Right.
I honestly, I don't know if it was the polar plunge yesterday, but you sound great. I know there's a lot going on. It's been a busy year, and just that Oscar thing, because that whole Oscars was so marred in controversy, and your performance just was such a incredible, beacon of, it was so powerful. It was just so,
it was sweet. I can't even watch it. I mean, it's so funny to me because, that's the way it is, I guess, is I can't see those things about myself that other people see, but it really is so wonderful that, you all are saying that. I mean, it means a lot to me. And also, how are you? I always feel like we're
enough about me. Stop. I'm fine. I've got 3 kids. They've been sick for 3 straight months. I'm just looking for.
Did you have?
Oh, we had the flu. My little one's got a earache. This one's everybody's.
I had that flu when I sang the national anthem. I probably should tell you that, but I had that flu.
Oh, that was a bad flu.
Wasn't that unbelievable?
What do you do when you're Lady Gaga and you have the flu and you have to sing the national anthem? I mean, at the Super Bowl.
You just got to go out there and do that.
And she did.
You got to make it happen.
You killed it too.
That's a real woman right there.
Yeah, it is.
You got to make it happen.
I was in the fetal position.
I think the couple of days before I was like, oh my gosh, I think I have the flu, and everyone on my team was like, okay, Shirley, well, let's go. Brush your hair the whole way.
That's right. Get out of bed. That's right. That's why you're a pro. Mm-hmm. Listen, we love you. I'm going to let you go. Till It Happens to You's available. The Hunting Ground is a great documentary, by the way. If anybody hasn't gone in on that.
Wonderful. It's really important for kids to see, I think, before you go off to college. And even in college, 1 in 4 women will be sexually assaulted before they leave campus after their 4 years, which is a huge number. So it's really great to raise awareness.
All right. The minute you know more on your album, we expect to be the first call. Lady Gaga, everybody on AMP Radio. We love you, baby. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. We love you too, everyone over here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. There's the great Lady Gaga at 8:21 now on AMP.